back to Good Bad Grains and to week 2 of Thanksgiving recipes. This week we are doing a vegetable. So most people, I would say, growing up probably had green bean casserole or some type of Brussels sprout dish or something like that as the vegetable dish for Thanksgiving. So I'm definitely going to stick with the Brussels sprouts. They are probably my favorite vegetable, which to a lot of people is just totally bizarre, but even when I was little and I didn't like broccoli, I liked Brussels sprouts. Weird child, I know. So we have some Brussels sprouts, and then to kind of spice things up, make it a little different than maybe your typical just roasted Brussels sprouts, we are going to use a bulb of fennel, a red onion, and some garlic. And with those ingredients, we're going to roast that in the oven. And then we are going to use some coconut oil to roast that. Throw a little bit of kosher salt and fresh cracked black pepper. And then the part that makes everybody love it is going to be some bacon. So we are going to use about 6 slices of bacon that have been cut up. I don't add the bacon when I'm roasting the vegetables in the oven just because I don't want the bacon to either overly crisp or not crisp enough. So I usually will cook that separately on the stovetop and then just sprinkle it over the top right before it is served. So let's start chopping the vegetables. Okay, so I chopped up our Brussels sprouts and I just have them really. You don't, if you have really, really large Brussels sprouts, you can certainly quarter them, but these guys were small enough that I could just cut them in half. I also have 2 cloves of minced garlic right here, which we can just kind of add right onto the top. And then I have our bulb of fennel, and then I also have our red onion. Now both of these we are going to slice up and add to the same pan as our Brussels sprouts. So the first thing you want to do for the fennel is just cut off the top and the bottom. You can just kind of move these off to the side. And what I found is actually easiest is if you then cut the fennel straight through the top, almost like as if you were cutting an onion, just because it makes it a lot easier if it's a flat surface that you can be chopping. So you can just take the top half, and we're just going to slice this nice and thin. So we can add our fennel to the pan. And then continue on with our red onion. Now our red onion, we want to do the same thing, slice it into nice thin pieces. This is about how thin the fennel is, definitely less than 1/2 inch, and so that's about the same thickness that we want to slice our red onion. Okay, so now that you have all of the vegetables together on the sheet tray, we can add our coconut oil. Now this is 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. You can definitely also use the bacon fat that you have rendered the bacon from, but I just use coconut oil. And then you're going to sprinkle about 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt right over the top. And then the equivalent of about 1/2 teaspoon of fresh black pepper. And then just using your hands, make sure they're clean obviously, you're just going to kind of mix all of the different vegetables and everything together. Once this is all mixed, we are going to preheat a 425-degree oven, and we are going to add this pan of vegetables right in. Once they are roasted, then we can put it into a serving dish and sprinkle the bacon right over the top. Okay, so the vegetables were in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. So we can carefully just take this and put it right into our serving bowl. Now, I also forgot to mention, if you're not a huge onion fan, you certainly can leave this out or only do some of the onion. What I'm going to do is do about half of the vegetables And then sprinkle some of my bacon right kind of over the top. This way it's in all of it, not just on the top. Because then you have those people that are just gonna take the bacon parts and leave none for those that get served after. So you can add the rest of the Brussels sprouts right over the top. And then sprinkle with the remaining bacon. And now it's ready for your dinner table. So definitely give this vegetable dish a shot on your Thanksgiving table. It is definitely a crowd pleaser and kind of a little bit of a twist on maybe a classic Thanksgiving dish. Next week I'm going to be doing a new take on a pumpkin dessert. It's not the typical pumpkin pie. I'm going to be trying to kind of spice things up a little bit, make something a little different, something that maybe people don't normally see on a Thanksgiving dessert table. So I will see you guys next week.